here we are on to the next one. Welcome back to the workshop. And based on the thumbnail that you clicked on, you're probably wondering why am I using a General Lee Dodge Charger for this. And I'll tell you why. This kit is not a good representation of the General Lee. So this is another kit that we've had since our childhood that my brother had started, never finished. Clearly he did like the motor, a couple pieces, and that was it. Nothing crazy, but upon further inspection of it, because I love movie cars. If you can see in the intro, I have the the DeLorean from Back to the Future, which I plan on doing. The Ecto-1, Ghostbusters, one of my favorite movies of all time. I just love movie cars. And the General Lee is an iconic car, which I would love to have on the shelf. I think it'd look great. But when I started looking at it, comparing to some models, other models that are out there, and some images of the General Lee, I noticed there's a little bit of discrepancies in the body. First off, I don't think it has a Hemi symbol there on the door. Now this picture here is a horrible, it's like a cartoon. This is not real, ignore that. I've done some research online. I've never seen a Hemi there that I noticed. And even if I'm wrong about that part, I am not wrong about the rear back window. I don't know the name of, like, what is the scientific word for it, but the back window on a General Lee has, like, it's kind of sunk in, and it has like fins that come down. This, based on some of the reference photos I've looked, looks more like a 1971, 72 rear window. And a General Lee was a 69 and 68. Those are the years that I believe the Johnny Knoxville movie used the 1970 Dodge Charger, and I believe it was an RT. This looks nothing like it for the rear window anyway, and that's a huge deal. That's a major, like, eyesore. If you are a big aficionado of Dodge Chargers, you'd be like, that is not a General Lee at all. So can't use it for this, and I'm okay with that. But I can make it look more like the thumbnail. So, which is kind of what I'm going to go for. I want it to look exactly how it's going to be. And I had a lot of fun doing the Chevy Fleet side, which if you haven't seen that video, there's a link up top right now. You can press and check that out. But I love making kind of the rusty, dirty trucks and vehicles, just kind of ones that, you know, they've lived their life and now they're just kind of resting in someone's field. So that's kind of where I'm going with this one. So I'll do a quick review of the parts that I got and what I'm going to use and what I'm not going to use. And then we can move on to whatever pre-assembly is left before jumping into paint. So I'll start with the body real quick. I started a long time ago, being like about 3 or 4 months ago when I opened this kit up for the first time in years. I did some flash removal because the body was terrible, and there are a lot of mold lines still. I got some of them, but I stopped and jumped into something else because I was figuring I'm not doing a General Lee. So after I noticed that it was incorrect. So I still needed to get rid of some mold lines and clean up the body and prep that for paint. So the motor, some of it's assembled. I have to assemble the rest and get that prepped for paint. Some parts are already painted. I'll probably have to remove that paint off of there. Probably don't have to, but I'm gonna, because that's just how I want to do it. Here's your undercarriage. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. And then you have your engine bay, engine compartment, which, you know, nothing spectacular. Like I said, this isn't the most detailed, best model kit. It's pretty cheap. So if you're out there, you see this kit for sale, don't spend a lot of money on it. It's really not worth it, in my opinion. If you can get a good deal on it, sure, why not? And you want to just build like a Charger, that'd be ideal, but don't make a Dukes of Hazzard General Lee out of it, because it'd be incorrect. So unless you don't care, then do what you want. But so that's the interior tub. Looks decent. Has carpeting, or, well, what's supposed to look like it. Got your center console, rear seat, and just, I don't know if you can see that. There's some detail in the doors. So I'll do the best I can with that. Got your dashboard, which is decently detailed. Steering wheel, no clue what those are. I'll have to look in the instruction booklet to see. Here is a roll cage, not going to be using that. and I believe that's a drive shaft. Again, I have to look and see. But the roll cage I won't be using. The tires here are they're Goodyears. They're labeled Goodyear. Probably won't use them on this kit. They're decent tires. I might use them on something else. But I have plenty of tires from other kits I can pull to see what I end up using at the end anyway. Here's more of the roll cage, which I won't be using. Looks like the air cover or filter and your battery. Here you got your bucket seats, which actually have the seat belts detailed, so I can paint those up, make those look good. Got your firewall, and then your rear axle with your mufflers on there, or your exhaust. So I'll get those all rusty and crusty looking. Got your wheel backs. No idea what these are. I think that's for your center console, but no clue what those are. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I'm no mechanic, guys, so unless I'm looking, I really don't know. Front grille, rear bumper. Not going to be using those wheels. Going to go a different route. And probably going to remove the chrome and re-chrome this myself because I don't like this. And it's just easier to paint, in my opinion. Sometimes you could paint right over it. It's not a problem. It just depends on what you're doing. Since I want to make these look dirty and gross, everything I'm going to just strip it and do it myself. So, and then last but not least would be the glass, which doesn't look too scratched up, but in this case it wouldn't matter anyway because it doesn't matter. And then the decals, which I won't be using, I'll hold on to them. Maybe when I do get around to doing a general lead with another model, I'll be able to use them. If not, I'm pretty sure you can find replacements out there fairly easy. So that's what we're looking at right now. I'm gonna, like I said, do some pre-assembly, get the motor finished and all assembled so I can paint that all at once. Clean up the body a little bit, fish around for some different tires. And so I'll be back with an update to show you what I've found and what I've completed, and then we'll be jumping into paint. So see you soon. Okay, so quick update. Currently where I'm at, I got the motor basically is built and puttied up as much as I can because there was a huge seam there. Probably wouldn't see it anyway, but I didn't like it. So I got this all ready to go, and this will be ready for paint. The chassis here, I have the little radiator shroud installed and the battery. I'm going to paint that all one color, and then I'll go in and hand paint what I need to. So that's all ready to go. I got it cleaned up. The interior, this little area where the armrest is was all separate, so I glued all that together, and that'll be painted. The chrome, really nothing to do there. Like I said, I'm going to hit that with some flat, and that'll be fine. I was going to de-chrome it and do it myself. I'm just going to, it's fine. I like it the way it is. I'm just going to hit it with some flat, dull it down. It'll make it a little bit more realistic. I'll get to the body in a minute. That's the biggest boo-boo that I made. This is the underbody, or the rear axle and mufflers. So on the very end there, you see those little gray things. I didn't like the exhaust tips that were there. And if you notice, I kind of made one a little bit drop down. It's like it's like hanging. But what that was, I didn't like how the exhaust looks. So I had an old iPhone charger cord that had like, it like tears at the base of it and starts to shred. So it was no good. I was going to throw it out, and I was like, well, let me see what I can use it for. And I actually was able to rip all the interior out of it, and that's just the housing for the wires for the charger. So I used that, and it came out pretty good, kind of like tubing. So that was pretty cool. So I'll see. I mean, it's easy to work with and super flexible. And then I have a bunch of black and red wires from inside of it that I can use for like the wiring, because I'm not going to spend the money on the fancy stuff, especially for something like this. So, and that brings me to this. So the reason why it's on the A-post, well, let me back up. First, I removed the Hemi. I did some research, and it looks like a Dodge Charger 500 had this rear back window. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a Charger 500. So I removed the Hemi. I didn't like that. Clean up the mold lines. And on this side, yeah, I wanted to make it look like it, you know, kind of had a little accident. Just a little accident. You ran into something maybe. And that's why it's been parked and sitting. So it's a little bit of damage. So in order to make the dents, I used like the old lighter here. Well, I got a little carried away. And I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. And in the process of putting in these dents, when this all heated up, it actually melted the A-frame post right here. And I was like, well, dang. What do I do now? I don't have putty. I know like they have like that milliput stuff. I just have like basic, let me see, like this stuff here, Tamiya putty, which I really can't form with it. It's just for like filling gaps and stuff. So I figured I'd use the same technique, and I cut that to fit over it. And I figure, well, this has like the little seams in it. And if I do one side, I'm going to have to do the other. So I glued all that on, and I'm going to attempt to use this putty to clean it up so there's no like little lips here and it's all kind of smooth, and I'll do that before I paint. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give an update and show you what I did and a little oopsie that I made. And, you know, it's part of modeling, right? Adapt and overcome. Now I can wait and go get milliput and mold it and do all that stuff, because I've never used it before anyway, but I've seen videos on how it's used. It seems fairly simple, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use what I have and make do with what I got. So I guarantee once it's painted up and it's cleaned up a little bit, you wouldn't even know once it's done. Right now it stands out like a sore thumb, but you know, after the fact, I think it should be very unnoticeable. So, but yeah, this stuff's pretty useful. So if you have an old phone charger that you're going to throw out, keep it, cut it up, gut the outside, and you can, I thought about it, you could probably use that for like some row bars, if you have any, or roll bars, Jesus, can't say that anymore, for like some roll bar padding. That'd be great to put over it, paint it up black, and that's probably what I'm going to do in the future. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, next I'm going to be running over to the paint booth. If you want, come along and check out what I do. See you there. Hey everyone, wanted to provide a quick update before I got too far ahead of myself. Currently where I'm at now, you just saw me in the paint booth, and I have been doing a little bit more off camera. I did get the motor mounted to the chassis. I did run some engine, like spark plug wires. It's not exact and perfect, but it's gonna look good for where it's at. Did that come loose? No, okay. So I got that all kind of looking dirty and grimy. Got the battery painted up. I still got a little bit more detailing to do, but just kind of see where I'm going. I need to run the radiator hose that I drilled out. I don't know if you could see on camera from there to there, but I'm gonna run that just for a little bit more detail and effects. And I still have to do a little bit more weathering on the firewall. So, yep, it was loose. So I'll get that mounted. Did a little bit weathering underneath the chassis as well. Not a crazy amount. Like I said, I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself, so I need to do some touch-ups. I haven't done any weathering on the rear axle and exhaust in the drive shaft, so I'll be working on that next. Like I said, the firewall, I started to do a little bit. I still need to even it out and make it look kind of even. It's off right now, but I kind of stopped mid doing that. Wanted to shoot a quick video update, so I'm going to work on that. That way it matches the engine compartment, and I can get that done. I've done nothing with the interior body whatsoever yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to make the interior look completely thrashed. I know there's definitely some ways you can do that by showing like springs shooting out of the seats. This one, the body's going to be, kind of rough and dirty, but for my quote-unquote barn find is what I'm calling it. It's going to be more of the interior's pretty much okay. It's just the body that's kind of been roughed out. So it's still going to look dirty, but it's not going to be like it's been a mouse haven living in. Whoops. Like I said, the seats, got the little seat belts detailed up. I'll make that look a little dirty and kind of gross. The wheels, nothing crazy. Like I said, I did pull these from another kit. I think it was the 69 Chevelle kit. So I blacked them out using Tamiya's black wash. I'll dirty these up and make them match the body. And then just to show you where I am with the body for right now, I did weather it up like a quick wash that I threw all over it. So you're like a wash of like black and burnt umber. I mixed that up. I ran I used a Molotov chrome pen for the molding around like the windows and whatnot, the chrome accents. So yeah, I got that all looking nice and dirty. Like I said, I used a watered down wash for the whole vehicle. I still have to do rusting and stuff. I haven't done any of that yet on the sides and where I want to pick, but like I said, I didn't want to get too far ahead before I showed you. I got the front bumper installed and the hidden headlights. And these, I didn't, so what I was planning on doing is I didn't like the way it was looking, the front, the A-posts, where I messed those up. I might model this where it's kind of like has a tarp over just kind of half the roof. I haven't decided yet, but I might go that route because I really don't like how that looks. I think it looks just kind of rough. If I weather it up the same color as everything else, it might disappear and be less noticeable, but I don't know, we'll see. So I did get the rear window mounted. And what I used for the rear window, I've never used this before. I just recently bought it. It's Plastistruck Bondin for styrene. It's pretty cool the way it worked. It uses the capillary action, kind of like a Tamiya wash, where you're holding down the plastic, and as you touch it, it just kind of shoots all around. So it's pretty neat. The only thing I don't like about it is this brush right here that it comes with is not a very fine detail brush. So if you do decide to pick this up, I recommend for like really specific windows and corners. Here I didn't care because it's going to be dirty anyway, but if I was doing more of a pristine model, I would probably want like a smaller Q-tip maybe, or something else I can use to kind of do that. To show you with where the hood is with the rust, it's kind of where I'm at on the hood. So I wanted that to be kind of rusted out and gross looking. So I haven't done the bottom yet, really. I started, but I'm gonna dirty that up, and I'm not gonna crunch it out too much because it's been sitting with its hood closed for a while. So to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm using for the rusting, besides obviously the primer is a rust color, and I scratched through to get to that. I use Hull Red, any paint, well, as long as it's the same color. So like Hull Red. For the dirt, like I said, I use black, and burnt umber is a good looking, you know, dark, dirty color. And this is what I use also for the colors for the other rust, kind of to give it that offset color. It's Testors Creative FX. This is rust number 2. I have a couple more jars of it. And then there's another rust number 1 stain. So you can kind of see the difference of the 2 colors. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but that gives you that offset color. You don't have to use this stuff. As long as you have colors that look similar to this, you can mix them with water and whatnot. So I also have brown stain that I was using just to kind of, you know, make it look a little bit more natural. Plus this is dirty as well from weather. So I think it'll come out pretty good with what I'm looking to do. You know, not too bad with where I'm at right now. So again, so far I don't love the kit. It's been very rough to work with. Like I said, the parts are not the best. Things don't really go that smoothly together, but this is a perfect kit for exactly what I'm trying to do. If I screw something up or if I make a mess, it's okay. It's gonna become part of the model and my creation. So yeah, I'm gonna work on the body. The rest of the body, I'm probably gonna finish that off, and I'll work on the rest of the chassis as well. So I'll show you, the next video will be another quick update before I put it all together and show you the final. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back. I know I was going to provide you with another update before the final, but I wanted to keep the video short and there really wasn't much to show. So here is everything in all its glory. Basically, last time you saw it, I had just started detailing the hood, and I haven't detailed anything of the interior. So at the end, obviously, I'm going to have all picture updates because I did take pictures of everything. But so this is where I landed with. Like I said, I didn't like how the A-posts came out after I had messed that up. So I decided to put a tarp over top of it to kind of protect it from the elements. Obviously, you could see it didn't really do much, but because the A-posts were messed up, I couldn't fit the windshield in. It was too damaged and messed up. So in my little world, when the car sat and after it got wrecked, there was no windshield in it. He didn't want it sitting completely exposed, so he threw this dirty old tarp over just the windshield area to keep that from getting inside, and didn't really do much. But yeah, I think it came out really good. This is like I said, the kit itself is not a good kit whatsoever if you're trying to build a Dukes of Hazzard Dodge Charger. It's just a very bad kit. But like I said, it's a perfect kit if you're trying to just kind of kit bash or take parts out of it or just build some type of junker. So obviously you can see this side, there's more damage. Looks like he hit a guardrail or hit a wall or something. Besides just obvious weathering, I put some pigments to show some dirt and everything. Kind of show you what the underneath looks like. So I got everything to look pretty dirty, and I think it came out pretty good. So fairly easy and simple, nothing too crazy, nothing too over the top, but just wanted to kind of give you my little review of this kit and kind of where my idea took it. Like I said, I'm going to have some pictures here at the end, kind of a little bit more detail of the interior. I didn't tear up the seats or anything. I just put a lot of dirt in it, and just so that it was just dusty and everything. But I like it. Came out pretty cool. I got to test some other techniques. I'll show you what the bottom looks like real quick. So as you can see, dusty, dirty, filthy. So yeah, it was fun to mess around with. I didn't have to go crazy trying to get anything perfect. Just exactly what I wanted to do. It was nice and relaxing and pretty quick build. So like I said, I'll have some photos. Thanks you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please like the video. It helps with the algorithms of YouTube, apparently. And if you want, subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I got more videos coming out. I'll be doing some other things besides cars, some Star Wars stuff, some dioramas, and change it up a little bit. So appreciate everything, and see you guys soon.